is an anti-life program. It's moving from carbon-based life to silicon-based life to a digital twin of the world that they can control, that is disconnected from spirit. And
I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this peace.
On Saturday, ain't it?
Through tones,
Today's Saturday, right?
melodies, poems, and peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
When the time
Might have some partying going on in the evening. You know how it feels when people get a little warm and everything. People still here. They ain't doing no fire. Ain't nobody run over there to support fighting the fire. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done this,
Woo, them fake Jews is upset right now. Whoa, the Zionists, we control everything.
love and peace. That's my decision. Is to walk with this beach. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We got protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no posse. Smola, worshiping pedophiles. Wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system, irrigation, and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beach. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released from prison with this passion to speak of. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
we're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? We should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us.
And hey, Fred, what's going on?
That is under
Yes,
full
Fred.
control.
I was going to share it a couple of years ago in here, but yeah, the Hoosier is named after a fake Methodist minister who wasn't African American but of the land in the 1775s. But I thought you might know that, and everybody's all talking about it now. I'm like, that's old information from when I was in high school. But yeah, what's going on, beloveds? What's happening? His name was Hoosier, something Hoosier, whatever. That's a lot of people have a hard time dealing with. We think about Harry Belafonte. I always call out of California. Harry Hoosier, or the Hoosier. It's like people having a hard time dealing with the reality that redneck had nothing to do with pale skin. But it's all coming out, you know what I mean? So, but it's for the benefit of everybody to know the truth and not lament in the things that keep people separated and divided. That's what the Zionists have done. They've done it all around the world. And I always say, if you're not a Zionist, you're not in that circuit, that means you're not included. Then you're outside of it, and they don't care about you. It seems like we've always cared about everybody. But Palestine should be, what happened to our people here should be an example. And those around the world who no longer exist as they're supposed to. That should be an example that speaks volumes to everybody. Yet it still doesn't, you know? My beard, y'all, I gotta trim it because it's getting big.
My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piloting up. Flying a jet, spray the adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel or a fly bandit. Mohawk, aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A Christmas carol lies what your fans get. Your world's in perils what I transmit as a transcript. Or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the pot. This shit's hot.
Damn, orange juice is good, bro. That's some good orange juice. This is not, nah. This right here, this is not processed. This is real, 100% real. Could it be GMO oranges? It could be. I don't think it is, because the stuff they grow is phenomenal. I would say they're goat milk. This and their lemonade. Oh my goodness. This and their lemonade.
I really thought that I was done with y'all. Nah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really down on y'all.
I gotta get my brand chain on me on acids today.
We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is
I'll set up here in a little bit when we get on the road.
Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Bow, mouth, Big Mac. But the earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side ops. Looking past the sci-fi. Third eye gang cyclops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's cold as an icebox. I'm saying die ops. From the skybox, I got scope on you pilgrims. The scope with some rules. Some of our folks are still dumb. Yeah, and blind to the fact that blood, we gon' have this real show. Warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, placate or rage. This is played out. Rules of a dying society should have been disobeyed out. Forehead and knees off the floor should have been prayed out. The draft is on, COVID's no issue. Coulda blown it in tissue. Now it's control who blows the whistle to who holds the pistols. The debacle's about who owes who the fiscal. Disregarding the original issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bound or wet. It's a big fat yellow, white, red, brown, black. Bow, mouth, Big Mac. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. A fool is known by his speech. Yet if I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we, a sucker or me. Stand on 2 feet, one trip the other cheek. The wise man known by his silence. Mostly disguised compliance. Silence by guidance from conspiring connivance. Other aspirants of violence. Tyrants of fire. Trying to giants to hide. I'm trying to fight. And environments of migrants, I'm hearing the sirens. Ring in my ear, they've got indictments. These pedophiles, queers, groupies, and hyping. Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm non-client. My refinement and confinement, the requirements for this climate. Y'all push all the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no wreck. Drill music for real. My soul they don't possess. We're foolish with no deal. Ain't playing with none of them. It's personal, know what the business is. Big Mom says come full circle, so vacate the premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bound or whack. It's a big fat yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mouth, or Big Mac. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bound or wet. It's a big fat yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mouth, Big Mac. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Akichiwa. Signs and symbols are for the conscious minds, y'all. And with that on the temple, draw. Beat mechanic. I had a vision to pass, not yet a circulus round, created successful.
Mark, what's going on, beloved? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? Y'all hang in there, man. Y'all party last night, right? So you can hang on for a few minutes, right? All right. Making sure I got everything tied in. Because we're going to be leaving here to go get that wood. I'm going to go live and show y'all. I'll record a video, upload it. And then today is supposed to get up around the 70s. Before I speak too soon, because, you know, me and Roz is a joke.
Peace to a bomb blow the joint this with the range the point the centimeters. I've encompassed my inner demons 490-degree angles.
Right now it's 52. Feels like about 50, 60. Today we get up to 70. Oh, it's gonna be in the 70s, maybe every once in a while 50 or 60, but that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna dig a hole to get that bottom platform ready. And yeah, that's right. Today is the Sabbado. So tomorrow we'll be full in working. Yes, sir. Oh, do I practice sabbatical? Of course. What makes you think I don't? Of course I practice the sabbatical. The Sabbath. That's not even what it's called. Why do you think they have a group called Black Sabbath? Isn't that counter? The light Sabbath? Oh, okay. We're going to leave that alone for now. It keeps people at each other's necks.
Is it worth the ride? Yeah, it's rash spit, but the beach churchified, so I bear my shit.
Oh, it feels so good. I had to open the window. It's hot up in here. I don't know if it's my car and I'm breathing heavy or something, you know.
Being the sacrificial that jungle, I run it. Thus, the lion conquereth over this numbness. Made a conscious shift, even in darkness, the sun lit on you false lights. Don't have to be gold to glitter. Actors with the poppers just for show. Go figure you did. Pounder, you bad boy or gorilla. I'm built like a silverback with hella track, no illa max than me. Masturbate her back, originally pretty. Take the mask off, 360 on my square. See the circle, if not your mask off. You promise, dash or salt. The dialogue's trash off, your past lost. Leave a footprints in the asphalt. Use the outline correction. Last fall, I blast off, I crash off to the next zest of living. Sexually, sex some ass off. When she walked the ass off, I talk back to it like who makes your Yanni sing. Her response, she dons me king. To who they gave me the script, my ops the prescription. This is my vision's description. Listen, I'm standing on mine, my circle is me. I absorb your hate and make it work for me. Transform into fuel as I evolve. Advance this abnormal, dormant form and leave y'all right where y'all started at. Let me impart a fact. She'll be sitting in my ship as we chart the map. Thinking in destiny, the turtle and the hare. Acknowledge me as the circle and the square. Yeah.
What did I do? I lost the page. Dang it, man.
Now watch time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate, the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, weighs the heart as I sun ray my art, her mate, the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when the rhyme and bass drop. I rose up, took a shower, purified my arc field, took copper for a wall to ensure my chlorophyll is pumping. Done some curls for sure, I've more to build. Solid foundation, my crown chakra core and heel. Pound the pavement, sacred ground, freedom I stand for. Free all political prisoners of war, man or woman and child, resident and all foreign and alien entities. I decree this morning, send them back to whence they came. Is the peace laugh or war cry, whatever the relevant name of each path, simple highest form, spirituality's how you teach math. A humble beast is still a beast. Now feel the beast wrath, rain fire upon them, and the internet forms, sigils, emojis, and the avatars that wore them. Destroy this de facto government and its quorums. Establish Big Ma's house so she may restore him. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, weighs the heart as I sun rate my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Raise the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when rhyme and bass drop. The legs post, note to self, quit playing, hit the gas. This shaft is called my turn, take the risk and smash. Most of them got vaccinated with chips in their ass, plus rappers sacrificing each other for grips of their cash. Sad can't watch videos without the subliminals. Predictive programming weirdos from minstrel shows. The land's contaminated, fruits and vegetables, black minerals, the water and skies are fried. Nuclear chemicals, technology got me here in front of my desktop, perusing these beasts and whatnot for my best option, contemplating which bar will next pop to unlock the minds that are stuck within a Xbox. Off the chart, I continue to climb, watching the rest flop like carp fishing, 100% fresh salt water. I'm on the front line, X marks the spot. I shine because of her, but she's the best part. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Raise the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Raise the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge one is when the rhyme and bass drops.
In my music, and in a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, make no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. It's time for a change, gotta bounce up. The oppressor's about to get tossed up. I'ma lay him out, execution style's too late, but apologetic claim. You wrapped in a cloak of flame, by God, it's overdue. Your time is to the end. Locked out silent without sin. He put me on the planet for justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled down. With suppressors attached in the war zone. Revolution could start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger prophet like Farrakhan. Backed by the honorable, who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the pitiful sinful. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protective service. Quick to pull the Glock, blast and kill. This don't take any type of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand. O'Neill's too late when the caps get bills. Don't believe the GC type. Going hits close to home. You gotta act the bone, but it got the dome. When it's on the zone, all red of my vision through sight. It's gonna be kills whenever I fight. From above, I'll be given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' win them all, so gon' pass the kite. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender.
This world is such a and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme, gimme, gimme. Push, 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 push. Step, step, step. Crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped.
we had some coals out there, I'd have put mine on top of that grill. You know what I mean? Anyway, they're making everything so touch sensitive, slow, because algorithms, they want everything, you to give everything. So what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Halito, chim, achutma, and all that good stuff. Salutations. I know it's Friday. I know a lot of people party because it's hard to break free. Have an empty mind. I know it's problematic because everybody wants, but they don't choose. People are impatient. People, and I'm not blaming people. People are impatient. People think they're overqualified. It's full with a whole lot of somethings. People are emotional. People have been misdiagnosed because they've purposely been misguided, misled, and ill-informed. So I'm going to read a few things and get off of here and go and pick up some wood. All right? Some lumber, timber, or whatever you want to call it. I think it's lumber. Timber is before it's milled to become lumber, whatever. Anyway, let me read something to you guys because a lot of you are seeing things in your hair because you realize there's things more pragmatic in the world going on around you and you really don't want no part of it, but you're going to play a part in it. There's just no way around it because the insidious beasts, they call parasites, some people call it cancer or tumor, they don't even care really about hiding. It's not like they were hidden. It's just they were able to. There's so many that, and there's so many deploratives that they're able to do what they do. Some people are patient. Some people are impatient. Some people choose to be ill-informed and misguided. I know that sounds crazy. There is a reality to it. Let me read this to you first, okay? This is Revelation chapter 18, verses 1 through 9, if you want to join in. Anyway, it describes the fall of Babylon and the punishment that will befall the city, right? And the passage, the city. Babylon was a city. So they say. The passage includes a warning to people to avoid sharing in Babylon's sins and plagues. You know, I was talking about the other day about the owl, and it's sad that it has to be that terminology definition, because we know that's not what the owl's majestic. But the Masons and those decrepit bastards of bastards who walked upon and trusted upon utilizing things for their own narrative, whether the Gujar is keeping it simple. Okay, you don't have to say anything else. There's other things before that, but Gujar is more than enough. Okay, that is their the owl is their symbol. I mean, you think about the Palmanian what you call it, groves, the place where they were doing all the burning of the, you know, they have the Moloch, right? And as the purpose why I said code word who. This is a disease, and some of your relatives and some of you play a part in it, and you willfully know this, but you don't know how decrepit and how bad a part. If you could sit there and get all up into, I got a lot of books on magic and all kind of stuff. The Kabbalah, not the one with the K, but the Q, Lilith, dark, smokeless magic. Anyway, right? Now I had to order some more too. So anyway, there are things that the majority of you, like 99% of you, shouldn't mess with, yet you do. And a lot of you do it in ignorance. Well, when you look at Revelation chapter 18, verse 1 through 9, it talks about how the angel descends, right? So let's get into it. An angel descends from so-called heaven with great power and illuminates the earth with its glory. The angel cries out that Babylon the Great has fallen and become a home for demons. The angel says that the kings of the earth have committed fornication with Babylon. I told you that our chiefs, who would be called chiefess and all that, and chiefs, were kings and queens on this land. Murdered. And they're hidden. It's like somebody murdering people, right? John Gacy, with those that homosexual whatever, and he's burying the people up under his, crawl space. The angel says that the kings of the earth have committed fornication with Babylon, and that the merchants of the earth have grown rich from her. The merchants, your politicians. Well, what kind of rich? Riches. The voice from heaven says that the people should come out of Babylon so they don't share in her sins and plagues. Y'all don't even hear when you're called. You stay right where you're at. The voice says that the Creator has remembered Babylon's iniquities and will pay her double for her deeds. It can be interpreted all kind of ways. They misguide and they don't care. The voice says that Babylon will be consumed by fire. They're telling you exactly what they want to do. Doesn't matter if it's outside the consortium or within it. They do always run tests first. The voice says, not even God, no, listen, pay attention when you read. The voice says that Babylon will be overtaken by plagues of death, mourning, and famine. Plagues of death. There's this Irish or Protestant, whatever he is, bishop, who tells you exactly what the WHO and your politicians, your governors are doing. And they're very aware that they're sacrificing all of you. Oh, they're very aware. It's for the custodians, the janitors, to make sure that you don't know and that you fall and play your role as well. Okay? The fall of Babylon is a symbol of the Creator's justice and the punishment of those who persecute the chosen. So, is it literal? It depends on what you know. It depends, I would say it is literal, but in what aptitude or inaptitude? You see things going on and you will dismiss it because you feel all right. That is something out of nothing, isn't it? Because you need to feel all right. So on the other side of the border, you have to be complacent and go, I don't feel all right, so something's got to get in. The first thing you do, you know what I'm saying? And you don't even know what you're doing, what you're saying. Let's look at this, right? We look at mass, how we measure the amount of matter, but they say that mass in church is how they measure the idiots that sit in there and listen to the foulness. Why do I say this? Well, when you look at matter as a physical substance, the stuff in the universe, right? It occupies space and has mass. Do you or do you not? It's like when we were talking about the molecule, a combination of atoms. The molecular structure isn't it part of who you are, that we should walk side by side? And if we don't, what is it? We're not mindful. There's no mindfulness. So the act of living in the moment and being present. A lot of people dismiss they can't hear, or their eyesight is hindered, or they can't smell. But they want you to believe that they're on the right, and that you're gonna, remember I said about it's good to have one on the right and left. They can catch you over here, and you can catch them over there, right? But people won't admit to it when they have a problem, because they think that it's beneath them. Well, how's it beneath you if you, in your fictional socialite narrative, not if you have the issue or focus? Okay, so let's look at the fact of the meditation, which might help bring these things in, the practice of calming the mind, right? We know that deals with the connectivity of molecular structures, the combination of atoms and the neuron cells within the central nervous system that carry messages as electrical impulses or responses, right? You bump your elbow, it takes a second, oh, you know what I mean? And then for those who aren't aware, and you make it leave. Keep moving, Neurotransmitters. Chemical messengers, well, they're chemical messengers, but by the definition, neurotransmitters, right? Within the body, which transmit signals through the neurons. Bam, 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 well, bloop, stub my toe. Because pain is indicative of childhood, whether it be labor, or bringing forth, or sometimes how you go out, or even a beating. It incites, and it don't just invite the narrative, you put a word to, like a face to it. It creates it so that every time you become, it increases fear. Some people don't have high pain tolerance because they can't tolerate it. And it depends on the environment, right? So neurotransmitters is basically the chemical messengers within the body, which transmit signals from neurons, through neurons, which it shouldn't be that way, but that's the way it works, right? Because the Christ factor, the chrism, right? The CFM, this thing right here, you know, the particle, the minute portion of matter of existence, right? Doesn't deal with the oil gladness, which is that of happiness, the sacred secretion, which is oil of gladness. Not somebody popping oil on your forehead or a red dot. Everybody goes, Egypt, the pine cone. That's corn, that's maize, that's hair. No damn pine cone, that's maize. A gift. All right, when we think about the Pingala, right? We think about the pine gland, but the Pingala is a small structure in the brain that secretes hormones and chemicals, right? No, it isn't. The Pingala is a nerve channel on the right side of the body. Also, when you need to look at Ida, remember we talking about Ida Japan, Ida samurai, right? Or the Kundalini, breathing, the soul, the source, right? Part of all the instruments that help it operate. So when you have a computer, you have this one little spot, usually on the right side, that plugs into the damn wall. You're always plugged in. You just don't know how to tie into the frequency and make it relevant in your existence. I give you little tidbits. Needs for you to research it and figure it out for yourself, because I can't tell you yay or nay. You have to see it for yourself and walk in its light and its illumination. You have to be in the light of it, but by the definition of our existence, right? So the pineal gland, which plays a major factor in you not relinquishing your powers to Babylon and all the other intrusive dumb stuff and pains and everything, the pineal gland is a small structure of the brain that secretes hormones and chemicals into the CSF. All right, and one of the top ones is, I had a bottle, it's down in the shed, melatonin, that regulates sleep, dreams, besides DMT and all that other stuff. Excuse me. Now, the pituitary gland is a small structure in the brain that produces many hormones such as oxytocin, so that way you don't need the synthetic that gets you hooked, because your body becomes lazy and repite, and stimulates other glands to produce other hormones. So that means that even in pain, you don't have to know pain, because the natural form of Oxycontin would increase, like, you know, and protect neurotransmitters and You can't know that because they need you to think outside the box, not inside the box. Because somebody start cleaning house because you see all the cobwebs and skeletons that shouldn't be in there. All right, and produce other hormones. That's why they have to have the endocrine disruptors, and they have to have all these other things that keep you further away from your God presence. Present. Are you present in the count of 4? Oh, sorry, yes, I'm here. Yeah, no. You're like a big ass Gomer pile. When we think about the prefrontal cortex, right? When we hear the front part of the brain that relating to consciousness, when we say we're conscious, right? Me and my cousin Lonnie used to headbutt. I mean, people thought it was a shotgun thing going out in the hallway. They thought everybody go to medical and try to see if we crack the skulls. And we're sitting there laughing and looking at each other. And they don't know we do this all the time. But something happens in that. Both of us are fabulous artists. He's with the Hebrew Israelite movement. You know who, with the cop dude with the, you know that one, right? He's with all that. But we're two of the most prophetic artists. Readers, profound, and always had the looks for girls and all that kind of stuff. Not the pretty boys, but he kind of played on that side, not me. I was more the physical, you know. So the pituitary gland can be off target and then put on target and then misguided. All right. So in the prefrontal cortex, that is very important. That when we always say, oh, you know, the man uses so-and-so side of the brain, the woman uses men are for Mars, Venus for Venus, all bullshit. Anyway, it's important to know that most of you use the left hemisphere of your brain and you don't know how to focus on the right hemisphere because you won't change up. It's easier to sign the check like this. Sign the check, how about you start signing, filling out your name this way? You know, over that side. Why don't you write your name backwards? There is young ladies and men who I see that when you give them a word, a sentence, they can speak it backwards. You would think it's dyslexia. No such thing. They have to name, they have to give everything a name to be able to give me a prescription to give you synthetic stuff to make you feel like you're all right. And it's synthetic, but there's a natural form of diet and everything else, and that's why they're messing with all the food. You need to know this. And why do you want they want to put mRNA and all that in food? Because they know that the healthier side of correcting a lot of fallacies in who you are is in herbs and barks and mushrooms and natural food. So the disease have to deal with it because you have been unconscious. You have not been dealing with your frontal cortex. You have not been plugged in. All right. Well, you don't know your cannellini. You refuse to breathe, the Bengala, right? So you don't deal with your pituitary the way it should be, nor do you cleanse it. Parasites are riddling of your body, and we're not talking about real ones. We're talking about man-made increased ones based on paraffins and everything else, like a wax or a plastic, all right? PFASs, whatever you want to call it. Right now, they tell you, oh, you get plaque in your veins, right? You can't get rid of it, but what you can do is you can exercise, you can change your diet, and you can minimize the blood clotting because most people are going to die from that anyway, physically, because this is what they do. They have their timeline, their time chart, and you have no idea about it because you weren't included in that time of conversations of these bastard things. That's the last hoo-ha anyway. Who gives a damn, right? Let them have their fun. Hey, do what you got to do, either be here or not. So, and then the other thing is we look at the serotonin, and people have a hard time dealing with serotonin, right? The reality of the molecular or molecule naturally produced in the body. That's why I say do not take it. Do not take melatonin. Do not take serotonin outside of yourself. You need to increase. And the real way you do it is by fasting. When you fast, you know what you do? You allow the stem cells in your body to recoup. Even a benefit in eating one day a meal. I was talking to TSS, says every time I eat, I've been sitting here being lazy. I need to walk for 10 to 20 minutes because you deal with that, what's it called? Insulin sensitivity. So consciously, I must be aware and I need to get up and start just saying it. I need to do. And it's not a bad thing when you do because now you're involved. You're going to look for the end of it. Just like when your great-grandmammy, 90-something years old, sits there in the wheelchair knowing that the doctors are pumping poison into her, and she says, you know, I'm not going to be here much longer, baby, so I want to set all my affairs in order. That's not what she really wants because it's part of this world and the dynamic of you existing. You haven't really stepped into the steed of your existence. So because of her rising, her CFM, her oil of gladness, no matter how her conviction, it's time of the wisdom and the wiseness that comes from it, right? She's going to sit there and she's going to respond to you in a way that's meaningful. So she knows that there is more time, but it's being taken away from her, and she can't incite you to go because you're not prepared already, nor your offsprings and want to come together. So she has to be humble to this dying participation of these deviants that call themselves doctors and governors and everything else, these bastards who have no idea what's really coming for. These agents of chaos, because they feel like, well, I got to die somehow, and they're still leaning on John. We're seeing the hell, goofy stuff. And I've offered them a moment of change. But you have these narcissistic bastards, like, what was that, Ling with the little goofy cop, the Chino, who wanted to molest the girl, thinking he was going to get a free ride, using over fake power that don't really exist, only in the narrative of people in pain, like the guy that was recently killed by these goofy-ass cops, all right? And this fake-ass DOJ who's too stupid to get it together. That's why they want machines to take over everything, so that way they can lambast and wash their hands like they're some Pontius Pilate. Bull crap. They can't escape. You know the old term in war with goofy-ass warriors, right? Fake warriors. We just fight to the death as if it's meaningful. That's how stupid they are. So shamanism, shaman, somebody called me that. Don't ever call me none of these terms. For you, it's the practice that allows a practitioner to reach an altered state. Not like the movie Altered State. Not like carbon base and all that other bullshit. All right? Of consciousness in order to proliferate or to interact with the so-called spirit world, which is breathing. Kundalini, back to Pingala. Right side plugged in, right? Pineal, pituitary, everything that's supposed to function, right? Appropriately. The little thing swinging like a little snail, right? And bring healing. When they say I can speak to the dirt and raise the dead. Right? Y'all are so far from it. But just it's so close because it's right in you. You're actually one and the same. When we think about the zodiac, we always think the zodiac signs. You look up at the fake ass space, you start looking at these fake ass stars, the Big Dipper, Little Dipper, Orion, blah, blah, blah. That's a clock up there, you idiots. That's for them. That's for them to meet certain criteria to get to certain points, and you not to have a friggin' idea or a clue. It's a perversion. I always say, it's the sentient ones watching down when the sentient ones aren't even looking. Because the sentient ones got to look outside themselves instead of looking inside. Close your eyes, see the stars before you, clean the floaters, because that's something else going on, and channel and see things. Don't convince yourself, walk in it. Okay? An area of the sky that is followed by the sun's annual path, right? They say. And the paths of the moon and the visible to the planets are also within the zodiac. Planets. These people have no idea, but you got to look between the lines and look beyond the story being told. Your conviction should be in self. I can read this stuff all day, and I know only a few will start to get it. That was a little bit of science for the sake of secretion. I was trying to put things together to not monopolize, but to guide you, give you a guide stone. Yeah, it's up to you. All right. So let's look at the power of the now, right? Those who have not found their... Sorry about that. My apologies. Hey, baby girl Slaughter. Hey, Brian. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beloveds? What's happening? What's happening? Asia Lee. What's going on, Mom? How you doing? I got Marcus, right? Somebody donated yesterday, too, or this morning. Appreciate the donation. I'll shout out your name out right when I get off of here. Okay? Those who have not found their true wealth, which is the radiant joy of being, and the deep, unshakable peace that comes with it, are beggars. Even if they have great material wealth, they are looking outside for scraps of pleasure or fulfillment, for validation, security, or love. Stars, all that other bullshit. Look, I got my thing in hand and feet on the ground, and because my acting in a rule, regardless of affiliation to government or not, people come worshiping me. Look at all the people, men throwing their drawers up at Michael Jackson. Come on, man. Remember what Madonna was saying? Like a virgin. And all the people there, and there were people going having a heart attack. Ooh, the spell's deep. Anyway, they are looking for outside for scraps of pleasure or fulfillment because they're not fulfilled. A lot of you aren't. For validation. You think you need somebody to validate you? Please. Security or love. Like, I care. First of all, while they have a treasure within that not only includes all those things, but is infinitely greater than anything the world can offer. And yet these lesbians and homosexuals, I'm proud of who I am. No, you are not. Lying asses. People are straight dismissing the fact that chemicals and what these idiots have done is playing a role in them being attracted to other men. Shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be there. So they look outside themselves without fixing themselves on the inside, or they lean on people like T.D. Jakes and Cripple A. Dollar and all these other dumb idiots. They look for Oprah's worthless ass, Rock the Giant, all them individuals outside themselves because they've been entertained. That means contained as these outside forces to enter them, so they're being contained, entertained. They have no control, no sincerity. This is developmental issues. Now, the world enlightenment conjures up the idea of some superhuman accomplishment. This is why it's called an idea. And the ego likes to keep it that way. And your ego does. I don't care who you are. I told you to kill off the ego, and I even told you what the ego was based on the Jinn. The Jinn, Zinni, die, that in the darkness, all right? You don't have to go deep. I said you can look for it, be mindful and careful when you start looking, okay? But it is simply your natural state of felt oneness with being, which they need you outside. It is a state of connectedness with something immeasurable. It means you can't measure it, so don't attempt to. Because some of you right off the back, I wonder, stop. Control yourself. Be Levitical. Okay? And it is indestructible. Something that almost paradoxically, yes, indestructible, is essentially you, and yet is much greater than you. It is finding your true nature beyond name and form. The inability to feel this connectedness gives rise to the illusion of separation. And every time I say we're separated, we really aren't. You're just not adhering to your principles given to you by your design. You are ignoring it, having bad choices. Am I not always saying choices? Everyone has choices. It is not for me to illuminate some false sense of kinship and enlightenment to say, you should be here. This is a warning, blah, 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 like some YouTube creators do. No. It is upon you, deemed upon you, the necessity of your own responsibility, cognitive to your own truths or entrapments, to pick which one is the better of the deity. You then perceive yourself consciously or unconsciously as an isolated fragment. Fear arises and conflict within and without become the norm. I don't even know how they even left that in there. I haven't even, while looking at this, I'm like, you got to remove that. You got to remove that. I would have never gave y'all no hedgeway, but I'm like that. So thank goodness that I'm here sharing some shit. I love the Buddha's simple definition of enlightenment as the end of suffering. There is nothing superhuman in that, is there? Superhuman, that's a complicated, comical thing. Anyway, of course, as a definition, it is incomplete. It only tells you what enlightenment is not. No suffering. But what's left when there is no more suffering? The Buddha is silent on that. And his silence implies that you'll have to find out for yourself. Well, listen, if there's no suffering because of enlightenment, aren't you all suffering now in choices? Family orientation? Should you stay or should you go? Should I stay or should I go? Do. Y'all still want to look at the black box, walk around, huh? Perform unjust duties. To further victimize yourself, you want to be the victim so that way you can lay claim to something. No more reparations like the goofies out here. And all they got to do is reclaim their land as a nation. I'm not going to go into that. That's something else. There is no more suffering, right? So anyway, he uses a negative definition so that the mind cannot make it into something to believe in or into a superhuman accomplishment. He doesn't give you something to facilitate that random foolishness that you haven't freed yourself because you don't want to tap into your kundalini. You don't want to breathe. You don't want to free yourself. You want to be this thing that aspires to everything that has been given and you've walked in instead of looking outside of it. You don't want to pull from the something and detract so you become going to the nothing because you think that you're losing. How many of y'all sit around and you're happy with all the shit you see around you? You're a fool. I remember when they came up with them little Asher boots. Remember that? And I was like, oh my goodness, Japan did it a long time ago. And everybody's running around with the Asher boots. And then the first thing, people see the little rappers and this, that, and other because they didn't have a good upbringing because their mammies and pappies gave into the drug, gave into the wars, gave into the system of the liar. And therefore, the children have nothing to render them into a place of consciousness. Therefore, they're subjugated to the physical aspirations and convictions of this world that they live in. And there's nobody there to guide them and tell them otherwise because the system is a perversion that lies to everybody. And yet you still want to sit there talking about I voted. And drink the Kool-Aid. And yet I said fast. You was just drinking orange juice. When you say being, are you talking about God? If you are, then why don't you say it? But aren't you God present? For those who can interpret and have a deeper understanding, I appreciate you. That's why on my work hat I had to put the tree of life, the beautiful mother of all. She's so majestic. I could have 100 of her and give 1,000,000 babies, and she would be joyful. Y'all, just like that damn flag, 13 undecided decisions, moving like something that looks like a plane. I don't know, a fucking boat, a sub, I don't know, something that's either in the drink or in the fucking sky and about to fall. The fears of existence. The risk incidental to ceremonial magic. That's why I say be careful of what you say and speak and how you think. Someone say, that means I gotta walk around a blank. You already a damn blank. Why don't you be meaningful in the blank of your existence? So that way you don't have to be something that they determine and use against the very you and everybody like you. If the problem of psychic self-defense is to be adequately dealt with, we must have an understanding of a subject upon which very little has been written. And there's reasons for that, as far as the narrative. The nature of the forces of intelligent and organized evil. It's not called that because they don't know what they're doing. It's called that because they know what they're doing. And you are all the subjects of it. And the great faiths of the ancient world all had their evil gods, as well as their beneficent deities. Like I had this one lady talking about God, Christ. Oh, shut the fuck up. Anyway, right? Listen, TikTok over here. The reality of the situation is these are the perversions. It's no hate, unnecessary. But the illusion is strong on them. And the delusion is rife with their functionality. The great faiths of the ancient world all had their evil gods, as well as their beneficent deities, like Jesus. And they did not call these evil gods devils. The Hinduism, and you know I say Jesus because the fake Jews, and they mess with the Christians, and they spit on their Jesus, everything. Both of them are idiots. No hate. But when you say, well, look up the manual, study out what you can of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And then people refuse. Anyway, in Hinduism, we have Shiva and Kali. In the Egyptian system, well, they didn't say nothing about Kamala. That's another one. Egyptian system, we have Set and Bez and Typhoon. In the Grecian pantheon, Christianity is derived from, there are Pluto and Kate and Horus. All the other faiths also have their angelic choirs, their archons and our builders, and the cornerstone, right, and foundation, all the hierarchy of heaven. Protestant Christianity alone has forgotten its angelology because they need to subjugate you to keep you from your Christ factor, the sin area, which is Lucifer, to come, the place of bringing together and the balance. They need you to stay away from them, so they put the fear mongering and put all these terms. That way you run. How dare they pervert this name? But anyway, you see what I'm saying? In all the hierarchy of heaven, Protestant Christianity alone has forgotten its angelology. The creator, and I did a video mentioning this, 6 million and so, anyway, has to be both architect, creator has to be both architect of the universe and bricklayer, forming man from dust of the ground without assistance. So that's like the molding of Masonic ideology, right? Kill you off, harem a biff, and then bring you up, and then tell you, if you tell the secrets, we got to disembowel you, cut your head off, sever your limbs, do you like a vampire. Anyway, if we refer to Paradise Lost, a good book, however, we shall find that Milton was familiar with both divine and infernal hierarchies, and that these were graded and charted according to a definitive system. Anyone who is acquainted with the Kabbalah with a Q will recognize that in Milton he meets a fellow Kabbalist. And in the Kabbalah, we find the esotericism of the Old Testament. I propose to use the Kabbalistic terminology to explain the esoteric theory of evil, because firstly, it is the one I am most familiar with. Secondly, it forms the basis of Western occult thought, and all medieval magic is based upon it. Medieval bullshit, Western cult, stupid motherfuckers running around sacrificing from the south up to the north, eating children and all that stuff is real. Flesh, sacrificing, murdering you. These are idiots. And when I say they're going to have to pay, and some of the Zionists, not all, I think they know this. But they want to see so they can figure out something. It's not going to happen. But anyway. Thirdly, it is, in my opinion, singularly lucid, coherent, and comprehensive. And being a system consecrated by antiquity, I cannot be accused of romancing or fabricating my own system. In order to render my concepts clearer, a brief explanation of Kabbalistic doctrine must be given. As it is not possible to enter into an exposition of this vast system, I will state certain axioms dogmatically and explain them by illustration instead of argument, thus obtaining the maximum clarity for the minimum expenditure of space. The initiate recognizes two kinds of evil, negative evil and positive evil. Negative evil, I know there's a tattoo on my back, positive and negative energy, but that is ancient. We're not here to talk about that, and you'll see it one day. Is the polarizing opposite of good. Let us try and make this clear by an illustration. Every action gives rise to a reaction. The forward drive of the bullet is equated by the recoil of the gun. Everything which moves has to have the equivalent of a thrust block against which to push. In order for it to expand forward, it must have something to allow it to kick off of. Like going into the spool, flipping upside down, kicking off, just like when you take off from the block. All right? Against which to push, something firm under his feet from which to take off. It is difficult to walk on a slippery surface because it offers no resistance. We must have something for the foot to grip, to push, pressure, right? Boom, force, muscles, and give us the forward impulse at each step. The compulsory movement that moves in one direction. Or unless you change it. Run off this way, but off that way. Negative evil is the thrust block of good. Negative evil is the thrust block of good, the opposite, right? The principle of resistance, of inertia, that enables good to get a purchase, to being filled. Okay? But negative evil is more than this. We might call the principle of resistance, the negative aspect of negative evil. For it has also a positive aspect, the principle of destruction. Wow. That's why I like the trolls. If they only knew what they were really doing, they wouldn't be so quick to want to get a paycheck. To be further in their deviations, yet some are suicidal, and that's not my problem. We can best explain the cosmic function of the principle of destruction by calling it by its esoteric name of the scavenger of the gods. Its function is to clear up behind the advancing tribe of evolution, removing that which has become effete, so that it may not choke and clog evolving life. That's what they're trying to do now. But who's doing what? Well, you're like slippery surface. They've got claws to be able to move across because you venerate the slipperiness, which still allows them to compel because they just only changed up. That way they can move upon your slipperiness because you're in a lost evolution of existence. Therefore, they can still, despoically, create destruction. They don't need a wall to kick off. They already did that long ago. And you, instead of you being that force of good to push off the evil, to clean up its path, you choose to remain slippery and conniving, cowardly and weak, suffering and crying and whimpering and victim and all these somethings. Anyway, I hope that was enlightening. I gotta use the bathroom. We gotta go get some wood. And then we'll be reading the 8 cycles of humanity and their respective resets. All 8. Okay? Oh, yeah, I'll share a little bit of that other, where's that book at? I'll share a little bit about this. I've been reading a little bit here and there. I can't wait to read this in entirety. I don't do that right off the back. I like other people to read it, so I can break it down for them, because I know they're not going to be able to break it down. Just, you know, it's good to read, though. Hey, ML. When people are sick, they will learn. Lean on other groups of lost souls to feel comfortable about their choices. Absolutely. That's the conditioning, sadly. Is when it's like, yes, everything we need is within. Absolutely. And together, it's increased twofold. If it's 4, it's 4-fold. If it's 10, it's 10-fold. It's the multiply times 2 and that with 10. No. Depends on what everyone has to bring. You know what I'm saying? My father takes statins anymore. Cholesterol is actually very important for brain. Absolutely. And before the 60s, it was over 400 and everything was all right. It's the chemicals, it's the fluoride, it's all that crap that they want to disprove and dispel. They don't just, all they keep doing is keep showing that people are messed up and all these shots. Look at Vietnam from the 70s. Before they got with the NHO, they didn't have any polio and all that shit. And they didn't have none of that. They got with them, now it's like 300% increase. But they'll sit there going, that's marijuana. Oh, shut up. Nobody's paying attention to you monkeys no more. We see their lies. We know what the truth is. The medical industry is a despot of destruction and death. That's what it is. Helps keep the numbers. Established by the Zionists. The real doctors have stepped away and got into natural healing. Took their money. Well, probably built a bunker. Not surprising. And their greenhouses and this, that, and it's still about the fiat. But you see what they're doing. They're slowly messing with your leaders to topple and to destroy you. That's the reality, sadly. And those weak ones you vote for because they sound a certain way, the money and the worthless security agents of narcissistic chaos, like they're going to get a pass, like they're going to be able to put their gold on a scale. That's the dumbest shit. Anyway, they still buy into that. Anyway, yeah, we'll see in the end. Does the end mean a new beginning? Absolutely. The idiots will be not even a remembrance of the past. They won't be nothing. The giants, the mountains, the carved out, the things that you didn't know about, you'll breathe with them again. Oh, the things I've seen. So let the idiots have their little foil and toil and play. Oh, well. Even there's those narcissists that go, well, then I just won't be here. Don't waste your fucking time then. Be at it. You know? Oh, Mac, what's up, beloved? Bro, I've been on here now. I'm about to get off of here, beloved. I got to go and pick up some wood. What's going on, man? I got to share a number with you. That's the young blood we're talking to. Noah is his name. Yes, y'all. His name is Noah. Anyway, when we going to some work over here, bro? What the hell's going on, man? We got to start building. Appreciate y'all. Tell the wifey and I said, what's up, man? They got a lot of mesquite honey over here, all right? Surprised y'all haven't popped up out of nowhere. Anyway, I'm going to see you guys when we get back, because tomorrow's going to be a full day of building. We might probably be live, probably have ganja up there with, you know what I'm saying, angles and stuff, so we can put together some good footage and, yeah, share it with you guys. You know what I mean? Seeing how you can't choose, you want to be here, and you're worried about this, that. Oh, it's getting warm now. Oh, yeah, I'll come, Papa. Man, stow it. I wanted to see what you were made of. It's going to be like everybody else. No, I'm just playing with you. If you took that to heart, you got some work to do. You got some real work to do. All right. From me, T and Ganja, the children and his wife, y'all have a grand day. And we'll see you later. Yeah, he's over there papping on this. I don't know. Are you hungry, cuz? He's giving a. Eat your damn cauliflower pizza. Anyway, see you guys later, man. Nigga, you gotta be over there acting all retarded.